Hey babe, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about fear. Fear is something that is present for all of us. We've all experienced fear, different varying degrees of fear, but we've all experienced fear on a spectrum, like a little bit of fear, feeling a little scared, to feeling like really terrified, maybe traumatized by the amount of fear that you're feeling. And some of us live with anxiety or chronic fear. And our relationship with fear is really complex because it's an uncomfortable emotion. It's an emotion that when you're feeling it, you want to get out of it. You want to escape it. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel good. It's not comforting. It's uncomfortable. It's painful. It brings up a lot. It brings up a lot of our own go-to coping mechanisms that are unhealthy. The ways that we emotionally eat, the ways that we neglect ourselves, the way that we numb and disassociate and use drugs and alcohol and sex and TV and social media, and just so many different ways that we run away from not only fear but all of our emotions in a way, right? Whenever we feel an uncomfortable or a painful emotion, we want to escape it. We want to get out of it. And I'm somebody that has struggled with anxiety for a lot of my life, and if you know me, you know this about me, or if you've watched some of my stuff or listened to some of my stuff, it's probably a familiar story to you from my side, is that I struggled with very intense, debilitating anxiety, scared of everything, but I was a highly functioning anxious person, and so that meant I hid it really well. And I remember everything in my life having this undertone of fear. And it's I could fall in love and be in love, and I could experience really happy times. I could feel really grateful, but it all had this undertone of fear of am I going to lose it? Is it going to go away? When is that anxiety going to come back? I never felt like I fully enjoyed the moment of that really beautiful emotion. And I feel like most of my life I was trying to escape my fear. I was trying to outrun it. I thought that my freedom and my personal liberation from discomfort came from eliminating that emotion from my life. And I don't know that I wouldn't have said it that way when I was in the thick of it and really going through it. But what I know now is that looking back, I was always trying to escape it. I was always trying to disconnect from that emotion, but I still wanted to experience love and joy and happiness and peace and all of those things. And the thing about emotions is that you're going to experience all of them all throughout your entire life. There's not an emotion that you're going to be able to get rid of. You can't escape an emotion. It's a feeling. It's energy. Emotions are just energy in motion. And so it's energy that wants to move through you. And what I learned and what really changed my life was that finding internal peace and happiness wasn't about outrunning my fear. It was about learning to walk with it and holding its hand and asking it what it was here to teach me, and using my fear as fuel for personal evolution. I really let that fear, instead of being this dark cloud hanging over me, I let that fear be a spotlight for where my soul was craving healing, where it was craving attention, where my next evolution was going to come from. And instead of running, I really embraced it. I really stood still with it. I got really present with it. And I just said, what can I learn in this? And that was one of the first questions that I started asking myself when I was working with my fear and shifting my relationship with my fear. I asked myself a lot, what are you trying to teach me? What are you here for? What can I learn from you? Show me. I'm open to it. And it was just getting open and getting curious about my fear as a lesson, my fear as illumination versus darkness. And that allowed me to just open my eyes, open my perspective, my mind, my heart, my body, my energy into a new reality. And in the midst of that, I found Kundalini Yoga. And I did this one meditation that changed my life. It was this meditation that brought me peace for the first time without an undertone of fear. It just brought me this deep feeling of inner calm. It was the most peaceful I'd ever felt. And I knew in that moment that if I could feel it for just those few 10 minutes that it lasted, I could feel it forever. And it didn't mean that I could only feel peace forever, but it meant that I could feel it without fear. And I could feel the intensity of that emotion, the purity of it. And that's really what Kundalini Yoga has given me. I'm able to feel the purity of an emotion without this hint of, will it go away, or will it get worse if it's fear, or will I just be like this forever? I just stay really curious about my emotional experiences and my feelings, and that has allowed me to really observe my experience and become not only self-aware, but refined in how I relate to those experiences and how I translate them into my own growth journey and my own healing journey. And the meditation that I want to teach you today is a Kundalini meditation to remove fear of the future. And it's one that I taught in the original first 3 rounds of Camp Kundalini, which was a signature program that I used to run live. And it's a really beautiful deep dive into this practice, but just 3 minutes of this meditation every day can really change your life. And it's about removing fear of the future, but it's just about removing also not only fear of the future, but that fear of the future comes from past trauma and experiences that we're still attached to, that we project into the future because we're scared that they are going to happen again, or something like them is going to happen again, or we're going to feel the intensity of that moment like we did in the past. And so it's not only removing fear of the future, but it's removing the fear and the attachment to past events that have caused a lot of trauma in our life, so that we can really enjoy the moments that we're in. Because guys, the sweetness of life lives in a singular moment. I don't know if you know this or have seen these on my Instagram, but I post these videos every day that are titled Presence, because I want you to, I love to make people feel something, and making these short videos just, it makes my heart so happy. It's like I'm producing these like short mini videos every day with like a beautiful soundtrack and little snippets of my life. But the sweetness of life is really in the present. It's not in the past, and it's not in the future. It's not in the next thing that you're going to achieve. It's in the right now. So the more that we can give ourselves permission to just be where we are and not have to plan for what's next or shoot or seek for more, we can just like be in a singular moment. Like, the more power that we have over our lives, really, and the more that we get to enjoy our lives from a really sovereign, trusting place. It's an incredible thing, and I'm excited to share this meditation with you. So your right hand is going to come out in front of you, and your left hand is going to sit inside your right hand. Your right thumb comes on top, and your left thumb crosses over it, and then the fingers just like wrap around the back of that left hand. Left hand sits on the right hand, wrap the fingers, right thumb, left thumb. And then the elbows are down by the sides, and you're just holding this right at heart center. Your eyes are closed, and you're just looking in and up to the third eye point. You're doing long, deep breathing in and out through the nose. And when I say the third eye point, you're focusing, like you're kind of, your eyes are closed, but you're focusing them in and up. So it's like right here, right between the brows. That's the home of your intuition. It's your pituitary gland. You're stimulating it, which stimulates your intuition with that gaze, even though your eyes are closed. Just bringing that intention and that focus there really helps to open up that third eye. And then we're going to listen to a mantra. It's called Dane Dane Ramdas Guru. And it's a beautiful mantra. You can listen to any version of it. You're not chanting it, you're just listening to it. And I'm going to play it for you today, and then I'll also put it in the description so that you can use it on your own. So this is a really simple mudra. Once you do this meditation a few times, you won't probably need to come back to this video very often, except for maybe an occasional refresher. So we're here, our eyes are closed, we're doing long, deep breathing in and out through the nose, and we're just focusing on our breath and listening to this beautiful, beautiful mantra. Close your eyes, hold the posture. Start to regulate that breath, lengthening it and deepening it. Every inhale, every exhale gets a little longer. Just noticing thoughts. Not letting them pull you into a spiral, but just observing them, letting them come in and letting them go out, just like water flowing through. The mind is going to think, so don't concentrate on that. Just coming back to the breath. If it helps, you can count your inhale and count your exhale, trying to equalize them and make them as long and deep as you can. And we'll begin. Hold it a little bit longer, sip a little more air in. And exhale, release the hands down in your lap or on your knees. Eyes stay closed, just observe the body. Inhale and exhale. You can flutter your eyes open. Join me back in the space. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. It's always such a calming meditation for me, and I love the posture. Just feels like really safe and secure sitting at heart center. So you can do this actually up to 31 minutes. It's recommended to start for like 3 to 5 or even 11 minutes if that feels good, and then you can work your way up to doing this for 31 minutes, but not more than 31 minutes at a time. And in Kundalini, you'll notice that we have a lot of time limits on things because the potency is really there with these meditations, so you don't need to spend hours meditating. Not that you want to spend 2 hours meditating, but there are time limits for certain practices and meditations and things in Kundalini so that you're getting all that benefit, but you're just taking care of your body and your energy too and not doing too much. It's like overtraining or over-exercising. It's the potency of Kundalini is so big that you don't need a ton of time to practice. So this is a great one to do if you're feeling anxious in the moment. It's also a really good one to do for maintenance. So if you're somebody who struggles with fear and your relationship with fear, your relationship to any uncomfortable emotion, this is a good one to do. I love you so much. Enjoy your day, and I will see you soon. Mwah.